The Mail on Sunday has released an extensive woke list featuring the most woke Britons.
The list ranges from the old classics like Gary Lineker, likening the government's immigration policy to something out of Nazi Germany, to more obscure choices like Liz Jolly, Chief Librarian of the British Library, who considered changes to decolonise the library's collection in a racial state of emergency. With us to break down the list is media personality and commentator Oli London. Thanks for being with us today. So, come on, was this a hotly contested list? It seems there was loads of people vying for that list. Which are your favourites?
You know, I think there was a lot more people that could have been on this list because, to be honest, there are so many woke people right now. I think Gary Lineker definitely deserves his place in there, rightly so. Sadiq Khan probably should have scooped the #1 prize for his ULEZ expansion and, you know, all of the things he's doing with the climate change agenda in London. I think he's definitely #1. Emma Watson was also on this list, but I think, you know, there's so many other people that are good contenders like Keir Starmer who can't even seem to define what a woman is.
And of course we had people like the Archbishop of Canterbury who is giving £100 million, I think, of the Church of England's money in reparations for past slavery, and Emily Maitlis bagged the Media Personality Award. Did either of those two come as a surprise to you, Ollie?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, the Archbishop of Canterbury has been considered very woke for a long time. You know, he's been pushing diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, you know, which is all great, trying to make the church more diverse and inclusive. But I think he's pushing it a little bit too far and upsetting a lot of parishioners and churchgoers. So I don't think that's a surprise he's on the list. And Emily Matthias as well. You know, she's a fantastic journalist, but I've seen her tweets and she is super woke. So I don't think these two contenders surprise anyone.
I actually thought Carol Vorderman might have been pushing her close for the Media Personality one, but anyway, I suppose this is all subjective. It's all subjective, isn't it? I guess, Ollie, people might say, you know, the people who sort of won these awards, they might see it as a badge of honour, really. I mean, I suppose lots of people who use the word woke in a sort of pejorative sense, people might say, well, you know, isn't being woke just being aware and concerned about social injustice and discrimination?
Well, I think being woke is about taking it too far. You know, we have, for instance, some people that are woke that, you know, push the trans agenda on kids, and that is considered woke. And then you have Just Stop Oil activists, which are considered super woke, you know, gluing themselves to the street, concreting themselves to the road. So I think, you know, there are different definitions of woke, but I certainly think there are a number of people, like you said, Carol Vorderman definitely should have been on the list for her, you know, views and her tweets. But, you know, there are different definitions of woke, but I think there are a number of people. Gary Lineker really did deserve to be on that list, so I'm glad he's on there.
And it's that moral superiority, isn't it, that they know and all of us could only deem to, you know, be as good as them. But you're stateside. There must be lots of people in America that are vying for the top position. Some might even say Meghan and Harry, our very own Meghan and Harry.
Well, I definitely think you'd find Meghan Markle the #1 most woke person in the US. I mean, we've all seen her on interviews and, you know, she just goes around acting like a victim and a professional victim. And I think, you know, Meghan is very privileged. She lives in a beautiful mansion in Montecito. She has a title, the Duchess of Sussex. And, you know, I think many people do see her as super woke. She's always complaining. She's always moaning. So, you know, I definitely think if there was a US version of this list, I think she would certainly be #1. And then you'd have, you know, Joe Biden is pushing some very woke policies as well. Kamala Harris, Dylan Mulvaney. You know, the list would kind of be a bit endless in the US. But I definitely think Meghan would take #1 and Harry probably #2.
Oli London, thank you very much indeed. They always do it bigger in the States. You're quite right, that list would be bigger in the States.
Anyway, don't knock Gary Lineker. He got a standing ovation, apparently, in M&S when he went in, according to him. So he's obviously more popular than we realised.